Do you want to learn how to 3-star with Pekka Hogs at Town Hall 10? Well, this guide is going to teach you everything from base identification to how to use your hogs and heal spells. With that being said, let's jump straight into the guide. Pekka Hogs is one of the strongest attacks at Town Hall 10, especially with hogs. It's one of the strongest Town Hall 10 hog attacks in the game. Now, with this strategy, what you've really got to keep in mind is your key objectives and where your wall wrecker is going to path to. That's what's really important. So the first thing that you should really consider with an attack like this is where the town hall is compared to everything else. Once you've identified where that is, you can actually find an entry point based on the key objectives. If we take a look at this base design right here as an example, if we send the wall wrecker in this way, this allows us to get the multi-inferno and the king along with the bomb tower, wizard towers, the CC, and queen. So that is what's really important. So those key objectives that you're looking for are multi-infernos, the enemy king if possible. You can also try and get a bomb tower, a wizard tower, and also the enemy CC and enemy queen. Those are all really important pieces of value that you really want to try and take out. But not only that, but you want to try and actually get as much of the base down as possible. This will then leave you with just a few defenses left as you start to stroll through the base with your hogs, since you will be having at least 3 to 4 heal spells for your hogs. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is the use of the poison spells. The poison spells are specifically supposed to be used onto the back end. One poison, mainly the max poison, will be used on the enemy CC, while the non-max poison is going to be used on the back end for the skellies. It does not matter what level they are, as long as you are able to take out the skellies on the back end. Shouldn't be too difficult, especially since they do die to poison. So that is something to keep in mind when you guys are doing this. Just make sure that you take advantage of using your max poison to take out the enemy CC and using the non-max poison for the skellies on the back end of the base. So that's what's really, really important. Now, setting the funnel is very critical with this. You can use the Pekkas and also the wizards in order to set the funnel, so that then you can have the either at least 1 or 2 Pekkas, and then you can also have the heroes and the wall wrecker going into the base. Having Pekkas going in really does help a lot with an attack like this, and can really, really make this attack fairly easy, especially since you will now have a DPS unit there that is able to go through the base and is actually able to break open walls with relative ease and get through a large portion of the base. So you really want to try and make sure that you have at least a couple going in. But the next thing is trying to make sure that you get as much value as possible from your bowlers and also your queen and king as they move in. King may not last as long, but the queen will, especially with her royal cloak ability, and you really want to make sure they can use that specifically when it's necessary. Now again, remember, you want to try and use your heal spells efficiently with your hogs. And if we can see here, he kind of almost spammed them in. However, the other thing is, the heal spells are specifically supposed to be used and healing over the wizard towers, multi-infernos, a large amount of point defenses, and also giant bombs. So splash is a huge thing. That's almost a must. If we look at that right there, healing over the giant bomb and the multi-inferno along with the wizard tower offers huge value. Now again, remember, you want to try and make sure that you're using your heal spells with the group of hogs, especially since you really want to be able to use your heal spell on the group rather than on a couple. This is really, really important with this. Now, the only thing that you will not be able to predict is gonna be the spring trap placement. Spring traps are very hard to predict, and actually they're impossible to predict unless you had a scout attack already on the base, or if you had a fresh hit that was already or was a fail realistically that pulled in some of those traps. So again, it is really up to exactly how the attack happens, but again, those spring traps are going to be the one thing you cannot predict, so you really got to make sure that you be careful and try to make sure that you can get as much of it. You got to pray that you can get through the base so that then, your hogs don't spring every single spring trap. So again, let's go ahead and go back to our base identification. The first thing that we want to look for is, where is the town hall? That's what's really important. If we also take a look at where the queen is, we see that the queen is on the opposite side to where the entry point would be, which is specifically would be about around right here. But we can see that she's close to the town hall, meaning that you are going to have to go away from the town hall in order to get towards her. Now, the other thing is, you can also get, a wizard tower, maybe 2 wizard towers. You might even be able to get a multi-inferno. You should be able to get the enemy CC and possibly even the enemy queen. And as you're just driving into the base, you should be able to get a lot of good value, especially since you have the P.E.K.K.A.s setting the funnel and the heroes along with the wall wrecker to go into the base and wreak some havoc within there. So that is what's really important with this. So let's kind of take it slow and kind of understand exactly what is going on with this. Now, one of the more important things that you guys can really do is setting a funnel using a bowler bounce. Something that I really haven't talked about all too much, but it's probably one of the best skills to learn at Town Hall 10 and above. Bowler bounces are huge and can really offer great value, especially on an attack like this or even other attacks that you can use a bowler bounce on. So if you choose to bring a bowler bounce, that's awesome, because that really offers you great amount of value, a large amount of value from that. Again, I kind of stuttered there on my words, but again, really, you want to try and make sure that you can set that funnel, and the bowler bounce is able to do so. Now remember, as you're entering into the base, you're looking for the area of low DPS, dealing with the CC and dealing with the queen, and trying to get at least 1 or 2 multi-infernos. Usually you're going to try and get only 1, but this offers a lot of value in terms of your entry point. Now, again, you can choose whether or not to start your hogs early or to start your hogs a little bit later once you know exactly where that kill squad is going. Other times, people really do like to start their hogs a little bit earlier, so going along with the CC is sometimes a smart move. Also, just remember that you want to try and heal over all of those splash buildings you can see here. Again, hasn't gotten to that multi-inferno, but again, healing over that multi-inferno is almost a must. So you got to really be able to make sure to manage your heal spells as much as possible. Now, in this case, there was not a second jump spell, a second poison, which means that now you're going to have to use that heal specifically over the hogs so that then they could be healed up through that multi and get rid of it. So that is what's really, really important. You've got to really make sure that you can take advantage of every single moment of a different base design, whether it be something like this or something else. So what's really important to realize is specifically where you want your hogs to go to, if you want to start your hogs a bit earlier, if you want to start them later, and all of that. So from this base design here, if we take a look at just everything about it, again, taking a note on where the town hall is and also where the enemy CC and enemy queen are, we can actually kind of tell that the best area would be going into here. Mainly due to the fact that we're going to be able to get these expos, we'll be able to get this multi-inferno, we're going to get a couple more things here from this base as well, but definitely this is a great entry point to go onto, just because then we're going to be able to get a large amount of value, and that wall wrecker is going to be able and is going to allow us access to be getting all of that value. So that is what's really important with this. And even from that multi-inferno compartment, we can really get a lot more than just what meets the eye. So that is what's really important with this. We just got to make sure that we set the funnel here and also here, so that then we can enter into the base with the heroes, with maybe a few of those P.E.K.K.A.s. And again, you can see 3 P.E.K.K.A.s being used here. So rather than using 4 P.E.K.K.A.s, sometimes you may want to bring 3 P.E.K.K.A.s and maybe more wizards or more hogs. Again, it's up to you. And again, you can use a freeze spell in this case as well. The freeze spell specifically in order to freeze up a multi, or, you know, freeze up the queen or the CC within the poison. Again, that's really up to you. Now again, you really want to try and make sure that you can get as many of the Pekkas in as possible, whether that be 1 or 2 of them, since they can really be very helpful. And again, dealing with the CC is not too hard. Baby Dragon, Lava Hound, or even Dragon CCs like this really are very easy to get through. Now again, if we take a look at it from here, we aren't actually going to be able to get over to the Multi-Inferno. The Wall Wrecker was popped a little bit too early, so we won't be able to actually get over to it. However, we can actually take advantage of where buildings are placed, and this is something that's really important with the bowlers. If you saw from right there, you saw that the bowlers threw their rocks from here onto the Multi-Inferno. Remember, the bowlers have a bounce ability. This allows them to throw their rocks, and they're able to not just bounce onto one building, but onto the next building. This means that they were able to take out the Multi-Inferno relatively easily because of the CC. It has a lot more health, and it was able to bounce those rocks all the way to that multi and take it out, which means getting rid of that multi was fairly easy. Now, this is not going to happen every time. However, again, if you can take advantage of how buildings are placed and how much health they have, a bowler bounce from a group of bowlers from your wall wrecker are gonna be huge. So that is what's really important. You really want to try and make sure to identify that when you guys are doing an attack strategy like this, or even anything that does use bowlers. You want to try and take advantage of it. This includes Pekka Boba and Pekka Smash. Now, as you're starting to move into the base, you really want to try and make sure that you can get as much of the value as possible with your kill squad. Your kill squad should be able to get a good amount of value, and if we take a look at it from this base, you can see that the kill squad was able to get all of this. This only leaves this small area for the hogs left to clear, and 3 heal spells really gives you a good way of getting through it. Just making sure that you heal over giant bombs, bomb towers, and multi-infernos along with other splash buildings are really important. Remember that the only thing that you cannot predict in a hog attack like this is going to be those spring traps. Sometimes they may spring 1 hog, sometimes they'll spring 3. And you can see from this example as well is that the king hasn't been taken out, which also means that you don't always have to get him. As I said, if you can get him, if it's possible, then go for it. But if not, that's an oh well. But other than that, you should be able to clear through a good chunk of the base with the hogs, and also the kill squad should get a large amount of value like you saw in each of these. So that's going to do it, guys, for the video. Hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you guys did, why not leave a like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you guys don't miss any of my videos, and also let me know in the comments below if you guys do like to see more of these type of guides. If you guys want to go ahead and join the Exit Humanity family, the Only the Brave family, or the Playmakers Wanted family, I'll leave a link down in the description for all 3 of those families' discords in the description below. And if you guys want to go ahead and join my community discord, I will leave a link down to there as well. And feel free to follow me on Twitter at CorruptYT. I will leave a link also in the description below for my Twitter account. With that being said, that's going to do it, guys, for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Corrupt, signing out.